Hold on, am I saying hi too?
Yeah.
Hey guys.
I'll be like, okay. I'll be like, hey, and then you're just like, hey.
Yeah.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey.
I am here with my friend Rika, and we're going to be giving you a catch up with Kate on the time.
Basically, me and Kayla got kidnapped. Well, actually, let me not say kidnapped. We were held hostage.
Held hostage.
It's a really crazy story. We're not gonna, you know, say any personal names.
So we're gonna make up some names as we go along in the story. Yeah. But we're gonna start from the get-go. We're gonna start from when, you know what, it's all started with Periscope. I'm gonna leave you to start this with her obsession with Periscope.
And listen, she introduced me to Periscope, which is like the funniest thing.
Yeah, but I was obsessed with it. Like, Rika was obsessed with it to the point where she had millions of followers, where she was like, people, I'm back. I know you missed me. It was like a catch up with Rika.
Listen, like, exams were over. We had nothing to do. All my friends had left. I was like the only person in my flat. So Kayla introduced me to it.
And there you go.
I got lots of fans. People started pouring in. People like, Rika, when are you going to jump back on? So I was like, 7 p.m, catch me on Periscope.
Wait, there was one time where she was like, 100 views and Kayla's going to jump out the window.
There was over 100, there was like 106 people.
And they were really good. It was like, jump. I was like, should I?
She stuck her leg out the window so that she can, you know, get the crowd
spice
going.
them, get them pumping.
It started off with me.
So, what are we going to name him? What was the name we thought of?
Hugh Hefner.
Hugh Hefner.
From the Playboy house.
So think of what Hugh Hefner is like.
The guy who had like 100 women.
This is our description.
Okay, so I was doing my usual streams. It was a hot summer's day, I think in June. So I was with my friend Bella, and a bunch of random guys basically jumped into my Periscope, all blatantly like a gang, and they were like, hey sugar, you know, hey sexy mama. They're all flirting and all sorts, and I found them quite funny. So like they all followed me, and they were like, okay, jump in my Periscope later. So I saw them. They were eating lobster, you know, drinking alcohol. Like, basically, they're these guys who go around, let's say England, yeah? They pick up.
Oh, yeah.
They basically...
Yeah.
Let me not say trap, but they get a whole lot of young, pretty girls on their bandwagon. Then they do little, like...
Link-ups, like Periscope.
Yeah.
Link-ups. So it's like, you know how Taz's Angels, like, if you don't know Taz's Angels, they're like attractive women. Yeah. And they're basically like run by this man called Taz. So it's like they go around like Hugh Hefner's everywhere, and like guys, Hugh Hefner's Angels, and they'll all come together and they'll all have parties.
But you know what? At least with that Taz guy, he probably got girls who are of age. These guys just literally, as long as you're over 18, you know. As long as you're over 18, pretty, got a bit of, you know, melons and
backsides and breasts.
So they've gone to a couple of cities now, like Leicester, Nottingham, Brum. And
I remember, like, Rika, you felt uncomfortable. You was like, oh, like, he's going to all these places and they're doing... Not that Rika liked him. Rika didn't like him, by the way. This is just a Periscope friend. But Rika was like, oh, like, you know what they do? Like, telling me about the shenanigans. And I'm just shaking my head in disapproval, like, disgusting. We would never be like that, would we? Basically. We would never do that. Ever.
I'm just going to say, I feel like I kind of entertained the situation. Just because there was a day that I was on Periscope.
Because he's hungry.
No. Because only Rika gets on Periscope drunk. I was at
oh my gosh. Right, let me tell you what happened. I went to Rika. She was like, my flatmates went out. They had pre-drinks. Pre-drinks is the drinking before the partying. And like they went for pre-drinks. And she was like, they left some drinks here, guys. I got some Jägermeister. I've got everything. Guys, we're gonna Periscope. Yeah, and I'm gonna drink.
Yep.
I'm gonna get drunk. And I was like, no, Rika, like, don't. And like, this is the thing with Rika. Say I'm sat down, Rika start dancing. Rika will be like, this girl. This girl. And I'll be looking at her, I'll be like, Rika, like. And she'll be like, and the caption's probably something like, look at this fool. Like, do you know what I mean? So, I just want to deep to the obsession she had with it. Like,
I had a lot of views.
People would wait.
People would wait for me to get on, okay? And you know, that actually helped with my artwork. But anyways, let's get back to the story. So,
You was drunk.
I was drunk. And do you know what the worst thing was? Like, I had my face painted as Bambi. I don't know why. Can you remember? Like, there was, like everyone was like fancy dressed.
It wasn't Halloween.
But everyone was dressed up as, okay, animals, that's it. And I picked Bambi.
It was an animal theme.
Yeah, it was animal theme. You know, first years.
It's a bit weird.
Yeah, okay. I must have jumped on drunk and Hugh Hefner, he started calling me his baby mums. It was like, you know, like baby mums. So I took it as banter.
She didn't deny it.
But listen, it was, oh, stop it. It was banter. And he came in and he was like, I was like, oh, I'm drunk. And I don't know, I think I said I was hungry, but I said that as like entertainment. And then he was just kind of like, send me a deal. So I was like, oh.
I remember, yeah, she was messaging like, oh my gosh, Kayla, Hugh Hefner has just messaged me telling me he's going to get me some food. I was like, what, you're not getting no food? I'm like, Rika, you really going to do that? It's going to be like some man that's going to jump out the car and kidnap you or something. Like, that's not real.
And guess what happened? I had 3 boxes of pizza.
And garlic bread was one of them, like a pizza garlic bread and massive bottle of Coke. I remember she was like, everyone come to my party over here. I got free food from my baby dad, from my sugar daddy.
I was a mess, but that was the start. You know when they say, you know, when a man really wants to feed a woman, it's because wants to prey on you. Like, shut up. Let's take it to like Hansel and Gretel. Like, remember how the old lady, you know, like she tried to get them fat so that she could eat them. That's what Hugh Hefner was trying to do.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's so dirty. But with Hugh Hefner, she went back on not Snapchat, on Periscope, and she was eating the food, and then she was like, oh my gosh, guys, like, we got too much sugar daddy. You know who you are, you fed my friends, because obviously students, like, we ain't got money like that. Like,
I was like, the plug. Get a plug.
So let's fast forward. So this is just the kind of person he is. You know, he said he's gonna provide, and he actually did. Like, he's never met her. Bear in mind, he has never met her, and he bought her all that food, everything, fed us. Thank you.
People are probably thinking this girl's so naive, like he bought her food. Like Kayla said, we are students.
We hungry.
Don't have money. We were hungry. It was like, what, 1 in the morning?
Yeah. And
I called her. She was still active and awake. I was like, can we get some meat?
I was like, yeah.
She was like, what kind? And
yeah, I hope it's not pork. We were starving. And then he,
basically, he planned to come up to Manchester. So he's made all his stops now.
One of his Hugh Hefner stops.
He's made all of his stops and he's like, oh, you know, Rika, gather up some of your friends. I'm coming over to Manchester this weekend. And if it was any other guy, I'd be like, listen, you're bluffing. You're not coming to know Manchester's 4 hours away. But I forgot it's you, Hefner.
She felt obliged to because he fed her. Do you know what I mean? Like,
shut up,
it was by it was by force.
It wasn't because he fed me.
She felt like she couldn't do anything.
Why is she holding my hand?
She felt like she couldn't do anything because it's like he fed us. You gave us food and my friends, so now one of you have to come as well. You can't be so ungrateful.
No,
have the decency to meet him in person.
It's because he came up just for me, and he brought squad. Now these are all like this. Literally, this is the squad that's been going with him to every other city, and these guys have money. I don't know how, but then again, he's Hugh Hef. You know. They just have money, you know. So they're able to travel, spend a lot of money on apartments, hotels. And you know what? I can't even lie. I thought that he was a cool guy, like generally. And then,
so should we skip it to this day?
To the kidnapping. Okay, so
we weren't kidnapped. We was held hostage.
Okay.
Anyways, right. So I remember I'm sat in my flat. Huh?
Nothing.
What's that again?
No, I was saying he was kidnapped.
Oh. Anyways, let's get to the day. So I'm at my flat. I'm on FaceTime. Like this is when I first got my iPad, so I was obsessed with it. All I did was FaceTime people. I brought Rika in on it as well. Yeah. She never used to FaceTime until I started doing it. And then after that, Rika came and she was like, "Kayla, can you help me with a wig?" Like I was like, "Oh, okay." She's like, "Yeah, because we're gonna go and see Hugh Hefner today. So obviously I have to have my wig looking nice. My hair's got to look good, etc, etc, etc." I'm like, yeah, like, okay, I'll help you. So Rika's like, let me wash my hair first because she ain't done her hair. Anyway, carry on, tell him.
Alright, so fast forward a couple of hours now. Kayla's like, realistically, love,
we ain't going nowhere.
We're not going nowhere because you're not going to finish up this week. Listen, I had little braid up in my head. I was like, listen, I'm going to be slaying by the end of today. Which I did. But I wasn't ready till like 3 in the morning. But Kayla was astonished.
No, because you've skipped some parts. She's making that like it was just like, Kayla was waiting, Kayla was like, I weren't happy. Like it hit like I finished my makeup at like 10 o'clock. I'm like if it hits midnight then it's not happening. Then Rika turns up to my flat, so I'm like, oh my gosh, she still wants to go out. And with me and Rika are lazy.
Yeah.
We'll say yes to going places, but secretly we knew from the get-go that we didn't want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking she knows what it is like. Rika comes back to the flat. I'm like, Rika, you're changing. You're changed. So we're like lying down. No, I'm lying down like trying to drift, and Rika's like, Kayla, can you just help me finish this? I'm like, so I'm
in the morning.
It's like 3 in the morning. Anyway, finished making a big bite about 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Hey, but we were looking schwite. Like,
yeah, Rika looked nice.
No, we were looking nice. You know, I had a shebang.
Rika had new red hair.
I had a shebang. Like, it was red.
She even dyed her hair for this day. This all same day.
It just slipped. That's just whole thing.
3 in the morning. People, like, parties finish at 3 in the morning. You know what I mean? So, anyway.
But he gave me hope. He was like, yeah, obviously, you know, like, we got alcohol over there. Like, party's still grinding. Not many girls.
He said it's kind of, he said at like 1 in the morning. Then once it hit, because there was people there. Oh, we felt comfortable with going because we had, there's other people there. So we was like, okay, there's no issue with us going then. If there's other, we're not going to, there's no, because we were thinking, what if they try to keep us hostage or try blah, blah, blah. Because there's no issue. Because, there's going to be other people there, we can escape, leave them in the dirt and, so we called a taxi.
We stopped at McDonald's because we were freaking
We were
hungry.
We were hungry. We were so craving.
I was lying to him. He was like, where are you? Baby mums, where are you? Where? Message us. I was like, I'm coming! Little does he know, I'm bloody like,
we was in the drive-thru.
Getting a double cheeseburger.
I don't know. We was just really obsessed with food at that time.
Yeah.
Like, obsessed with
And she was, like, astonished because, like, the Uber driver had like an overhead
it was see-through. Oh yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I kept trying to take pictures with it, but because of the reflection it didn't work. But yeah,
she's like, oh, I love this. I
was like, this isn't this isn't economy on Uber, because you can skip like this is a premium.
This is Uber exempt.
No. Ooh.
So now we get to this destination now and we're seeing bloody daylight, but makeup's still fresh, me and Kayla feeling ourselves, like on Snapchat and everything, letting everyone know that we are out at 4 in the morning. I don't know why I did that, but anyways,
you put the time. I'm there.
I even put the time. So then I messaged
you messaged, okay, so she messaged Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner wasn't really getting in contact, so Hugh Hefner passed it on to his friend. Let's call him Razor Bump.
No respect.
And Razor
no
Bump.
Respect. You ain't got no respect,
And Razor Bump decided to, help us out. So I'm expecting to see, like some suave looking people in suits. Razor Bump come down in like sandals, no socks, dry ashy feet, boot cuts.
With his razor bumps.
Yeah, with his razor bumps, and I just looked at Rika and I was like, Rika, what have you put me into? Like, what have you got me into? Like,
I was like, I'm sorry.
She was apologising, and I was just so, like, when I'm upset, I don't say anything, so I was just like.
But deep, she was like, I was down.
Punching her on the inside.
We got the razor bump, he came down and he was like, we're having like an issue, her face bloody lit up. She was like, really?
We're going home? What?
He was like, how basically they're not allowed guests after 11 PM, and I think any guests who arrive after that time, they have
£50 each.
They have to pay for. So we're like, oh, great, awesome, like we're going home.
But they said, don't worry, Razor Bump to the rescue. I'm gonna take you like through the back. Take you through the car park so you can go up the steps. So we're walking around, sneaking around like prostitutes. Like, I'm thinking, why are we doing this? So we're walking around, we see a massive, we see a massive white, what's it called, Range Rover. I'm thinking, wow, like they are what they live up to. Then all of a sudden, someone comes around, excuse me. It was the woman that worked there. CCTV camera, CCTV camera has caught you lurking in our premises. So we had to go back.
So embarrassing.
To the front.
Because we still had to walk through the front.
Yeah, so people saw us. Like, the people that saw us sneak around the back saw us come back caught, going back round the front. So then we get into there and they're talking and he's like, And then I think Hugh Hefner called down like, yo, like, so it was like this, like, he was this higher person that we never saw. He called down like, yo, pay them the money in it so the girls can come in. So we're like, Rika's like, it's okay, Kayla. I'm just like,
I wanted to go home.
I wanted to go home.
I'm like,
I walked up with my face
no,
in disgust.
I wanted to go home too, but then I was a bit like, and then wait, hold on.
No, Rika didn't want to go home because she thought her outfit needed to be put to use. She was like, no, I did not get ready at 3 in the morning just to go home. Rika, I didn't care. I was upset and annoyed by this point.
Do you know what finished me? This Hugh Hefner guy came down. I'm going to allow Kayla.
Where did he meet us?
He came out. Can you remember when we weren't able to get... So after we went through the back, we came back through the front. So Hugh Hefner decided to come
why did
down.
I think... I must have made it up in my head. You know what I thought?
What?
Hugh Hefner called, was like, bring the girls up, just pay the money.
Because he seems like the high person. No, he had to come down.
No, he came down.
He had to come down.
Come down.
And
like a bum.
I'm gonna let her explain what he
Come
looked
down
like.
looking like a bum. He looked like Mike's comedy. He did, didn't he? He looked like Mike's comedy.
My twist.
And like, I don't know.
I need water.
He was just very skinny. He was mager.
Do you know what was rude though? He walked right past her. Obviously, he doesn't know she's.
Oh
and
yeah,
he came
how
and he
rude was
hugged
that?
me, and then he kind of like imagine that he's like, oh hey, hugged me. Then he guided me, and he just completely.
Oh yeah, so he walked over. So he literally came over and was like, and I'm behind like. And he's like, come Rika, let's go. Like I wasn't there. Like
Yes,
I didn't
yeah.
put our makeup to. Like I didn't need some recognition. But what I hadn't realised was that Hugh Hefner was for Rika and Razor Bump was for me. Not like Hugh Hefner looked good anyway, but
They had it ready, you know.
yeah, like it was a plan.
So we went upstairs into the lions there. And we go inside and there's literally no one.
It's just us.
It's just us. It's just an empty, very lovely apartment, I'll say.
It was nice.
They take us to the front and we sit down and he's like, oh, you know, do you guys want a shot? Like he brings the alcohol.
We was on antibiotics.
We was on antibiotics.
We both had infections in our gums.
We both had toothaches. Yeah.
So
and then
drink.
I'm sorry, I can't drink. I'm on antibiotics.
I'm like, same.
He turns
So
to
he's
me.
there like, please.
He said, do you want some
Please,
drink?
you
She's like,
liar.
my girl, and the thing is, Kayla's so sarcastic. So she goes, you know what? A really funny thing is, I'm on antibiotics too.
I'm like, you know what's mad? You never believe it. So am I. Guess I can't drink either.
So Razor Bump was obviously on Kayla. And then Hugh Hef decided to sit next to me and he was very close to the point of uncomfortability. And I was literally, he's like, alright baby love, like this.
Rika does this thing, yeah, where she's like,
I'm looking at
she's looking at the distance, like she's not looking at you, she's just staring, like uncomfortable, tense. And so Razor Bump's like, so what's your name? Like that kind of, I'm not interested.
And
I don't want you.
I basically leave her. Because I was like, who else is here? He's like, yeah, rest of the squad's in the room.
So she leaves me sat down with Razor Bump. Anyway, let me get to
And Hugh Hef. I left you with
and
both.
Hugh Hefner. Okay, so it started off with Hugh Hefner. So it's me, Hugh Hefner, and Razor Bump in the room. I'm sat down on my Samsung phone. I remember it was a Samsung at the time. And I'm there typing, and I'm there like, Rika, come back. Rika, come back. Rika, come back. Meanwhile, he's there like, so tell me about yourself. This is Hugh Hefner. Like, is this superior? I'm like, well, I study media and performance. Like, what do you aspire yourself to be in the future?
He didn't care. He didn't care.
He was just trying to sound all like smart. Then Rika came back and he was like, skirt. So he left. Razor Bump's like, I don't know if you can even see Rika's leg. Say this is Rika's leg. He's like,
wow.
I was like, sorry. I was like, I'm uninterested. And then that was that. There was nothing else there. Pure silence until Rika came back. Sorry. Pure silence. We didn't speak at all. Like, I think he could just tell by my tone, attitude. There was nothing. Nothing. And then, meanwhile, I'm texting Rika. Tell everyone you.
So, I get up to go toilet after I finished speaking to some of the lads who were in the room. I can't be bothered to think of code names. They were quite like irrelevant in this situation. But yeah, anyways, I come out of the room after saying hi to everyone and I go into the toilet. No, I asked Hugh Hefner, where is the toilet? He goes, it's over there. Would you like me to show you? I was like, no, I'm fine. So I go into the toilet and Kayla's texting me like, Rika, like, you need to freaking get here now because it's getting a bit. So I was like, alright, I'm coming out. So I come out now, I'm like, alright, I think that how, you know, me and Kayla need to go, it's quite early. And then Hugh Hefner was like, oh, hold on, Rika, let me talk to you. So I was like, oh, I look at Kayla, and Kayla just sees me going in the room.
Then I'm there
telling
like,
you.
what did I do? I don't remember what I did. I think I was gonna go. This was like, I was like.
So I get pulled into this room now, and the door closes and locks. So at this point, I'm saying, Father God, if there's a God, I'm going to get out of here alive. So he takes off my bag, and I'm just a bit like, alright. So he's like, holding my hands, like, he's like, baby loves, like, baby, this guy ain't even,
He's
like, bloody Jamaican, bloody Nigerian. and all I'm seeing is gold teeth up my, and the thing is, he's scrawny, like, his legs are thin,
He's
very small, very
malnourished.
rigid, malnourished. Oh, that's a bit.
Okay.
So he backs me up like against the wall, tries to kiss me. I feel hot breath, and I'm just like, no, like, like, I don't want to do this. This is not what I'm about.
I'm not this woman.
I'm not this woman. I wouldn't say that how like it was like a rapey situation, but
Intrusive.
yeah, very up in my space, and thank God Kayla somehow managed to.
Okay, so meanwhile, I'm sat with Razor Bump, I'm like, let me break this silence. So I'm like, I work at Sainsbury's. I've got to go to work. I really need to go now. Like, this is I said to her, I'm only going to come for an hour or so. We did not intend to stay. Then obviously I'm irritating him. I'm getting a bit aggressive. Then he's like, okay, let me go get him. So he starts knocking on the door.
They saved me because, I don't know whether he was looking to, up breast or something.
I can't say that.
Why can't I say up breast? I don't know whether he was looking to, taste the waters. But lifesaver, I texted him, was like, please Lord help me. Me and him came out of the room because he could see that I was very uncomfortable.
Okay, so he wanted to see why I disturbed the atmosphere. He's like, yeah, what's the problem? I was like, okay, well, I have work. Where do you work? I'm like, Sainsbury's. Like, what time do you start? I'm like, 10. He's like, 10? That's all right. Like,
bear interviewing. It's like 6 in the morning, man. Like,
you can still come down. We can go down, get your uniform. You come back, get ready, and then go. And I'm like, I'm like, I can't because I'm working until 5. He's like, that's fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Rican can stay here, and then like when you finish work, I'm like, I'm gonna get out of this.
Then he goes, like, we have spare beds. We even have a sofa here.
You and Razor Bump can sleep over there. I'm like, Jesus.
Making it so hard for us to leave. Yeah. This is why we call this.
This is why we felt like we was being held hostage, because like every excuse he had to answer to, like, don't worry, you can do that. Don't worry, because then I'm like, Rika, I'm gonna call it right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm calling it. I don't care what they say. We're going. So I called it. I'm like, our Uber's already 3 minutes away. Then he's there like a bit disappointed.
Yeah, he's like, oh, why are you guys going so soon? No. Schedule it for later. And I was like, it's too late. It's here.
I was like, I've got work. I really need. I'm tired. I like to sleep before. I suffer with like tiredness, and I just didn't want to. I don't want to stay.
Yeah. So Uber went down. He's like, all right, let me escort you down. Very close to me. It wasn't. As soon as me and Kayla stepped out, it was like, when they open up them prison gates. And you feel the fresh air, the lights.
It's like,
we're free. And I just looked at Kayla like, Kayla was like, Rika, I can't believe you put me through that. Like,
it was horrible.
I actually love her, because if I'd gone alone,
how much?
God forbid. I know. I was death.
We were there for so long, like from 4 till 6 in the morning. I don't know why it felt like 10 days, but
it wasn't even that long. Remember, he was like,
you've
like
only been here half an hour. It was half an hour. We're so extra. But yeah, we weren't there for long at all. It was like half an hour, but it just
felt like we were there for days.
Yeah, we're so extra.
No food, no water, just
we're just melodramatic. When you think about it, why we didn't get held hostage? All we had to say was no.
No. Once they paid that money, for us to get in.
Oh yeah, we felt obliged. £50 per person. We were worth £100 to these people, and they wanted their money's worth. They wanted what they paid for. These people wanted their money.
Moral of the story, ladies of this generation especially, just because a guy buys you food doesn't mean that you're obliged to anything. I don't know why I felt I owed him my presence.
It was you. It was you.
That's the reason why we're in this bloody situation. But make sure that you have a good friend on you. Like, I have one, because if I was on my own, all jokes aside, I don't know how it would have ended. But it wouldn't have been safe. One woman and it was about 6 lads. So yeah, that's story time with
Catch Up with K.
and
Yeah. So
you guys enjoyed our
video. I'm gonna put our social medias probably underneath our bodies just here. And Rika is an amazing artist, so make sure you follow her Instagram page, especially
Thanks,
to look at all her designs, her artworks. Like, it's just... Thank you for watching my Catch Up with K video, guys. My next video is going to be a natural hair tutorial on how I do my half fro thingy. I don't know how to explain it. I'm going to think of a name, like I said in my last video. Thank you, guys. I will see you next time. We was there for so long, like, we were... What did I do to my wig? Let me just...
I'm gonna start to brush out. This better be for the bloopers, you know.
Wait.
I'll go adjusting her wig on camera. Alright, flea heat, yeah. Right, ready to go. Yeah.